What does a Stearman have in common with SpaceX Starship?
They both have horsepower. A Stearman has 220 horsepower on liftoff, and the Starship has 5 million horsepower on liftoff.
Dad, I think we need to go to Starbase to watch the Starship launch 6. This time on the Big Sky Stearman Show. We're at the airport.
Yeah, we're at Portland Airport now. We're off to Boca Chica, Texas to watch SpaceX launch their 6th super rocket Starship.
Yeah.
So we've been fascinated by this for 10 years, so this will be fun.
So the launch was scheduled for Monday and we're taking off Saturday, but now this morning they just rescheduled the launch for Tuesday. So let's find our way. So we're gonna change our car and our hotel. Wow, this airport has totally changed just in the last few months. Let me show you. Wow, how cool is that? So we're heading to gate B, gate C. Coffee here, thank you.
It's because I put the shots in at different times.
So what is it? What are we flying, Dad?
Well, it looks like an Airbus A321. I think that's the kind Tyler flies.
Oh, Colorado.
First flight is Portland to Dallas Fort Worth, and then the second flight is to Brownsville, Texas.
Okay, we made it to Brownsville finally.
Yeah,
Dun,
we're 2
dun,
hours
dun.
late, but we're in good spirits. We're looking forward to seeing the rocket fly, and it's a day later than we figured, so we got a day to kill.
Okay, so we found our condo last night at 2 a.m. and had a good night's sleep. Now we're gonna go find some lunch on the beach.
Yeah, this is pretty special. Boca Chica Boulevard now, headed over to Starbase. This is really interesting country out here. They literally built this base on a sandbar out in the middle of tidal flats. It's pretty crazy, but I guess they needed isolation in order to let their rockets crash. So we're gonna look at Starbase, get our first look. They're shooting the rocket Tuesday. Roads will be closed, but we'll be at South Padre Island, about 5 miles. But they say it's plenty good viewing from there. We had a couple astronauts marooned in space on the International Space Station, and it took Elon's Falcon 9 Crew Dragon to go rescue them. So it's not fiction anymore to talk about being marooned in space.
This is a state highway that leads to a public beach. Anyone can come and park on the opposite side of the road and wander around. The road is only closed the day of launch.
can't believe it. This is crazy. This is insane. Here we are. That's amazing.
We are.
All kinds of gushing and hissing and sounds. The rocket lives. All of the oxygen trucks are here now. They're fueling it up. He's a living, breathing monster with vapor coming out. I think it's a dinosaur. So you might wonder, why is Big Sky Stearman here? Well, our motto is we're 80 years behind the times, but here we have an opportunity to see the future. It's pretty incredible.
What are those, Dad?
They're big intercoolers, big radiators. I understand that they need to chill oxygen or methane or whatever way down into the lower temperatures. This is pretty amazing to be able to get this close to this rocket.
Yeah, this road is a state highway. It goes to the beach access, and then down to Brownsville. So people are driving by here all day, and they close it off the day of the launch. Near the base. Crazy. Just don't pass that sign there.
Yeah, from this view we can really see the launch pad.
The launch pad is extremely stout. There are huge water jets that come up from below to shoot floods of water just under the rockets as they fire. The water helps suppress heat and noise. Noise can be very destructive. So that's where all the steam comes from. It's not smoke, it's steam.
Okay, we just heard somebody who works here giving someone a tour. So we asked him a few questions. What did he clarify? He clarified that the last Starship that landed in the Indian Ocean was scrapped. When they land in the ocean, they actually have explosives rigged so it'll explode and sink to the bottom. So it isn't safe. And then the booster that came back is actually stored in the garden, the rocket garden.
They call it the rocket garden. All of these rings are spot welded. The majority of the booster is just fuel cells. They got liquid oxygen, and they got methane, and these vanes, they call them, what was that, skids or something, a nautical term, but they have helium in it, and the helium is used for something.
Oh, okay. And then the fuel is, what was it, cryo fuel? It's super cool.
Super cool.
So when it's ready to launch, it'll be covered in like ice frost.
Yeah, when it does launch, you'll just see fog off all of the ship as it goes skyward.
So where did you find this stuff? This is you collected? Oh, okay. From
Militech. So this is all suborbital Starship stuff. It's a silica material. It's a sand, and there's other things like
Capable of
magnesium, something that, you know.
Oh, it's light. And capable of what kind of temperature?
So here's a brand new one.
Oh, okay.
So
Is that kind of a foam?
it's not foam. Although people on the islands where I've been picking these up, they think it's foam. Thankfully.
Well, isn't that
But this has never flown straight out of the back door of SpaceX.
Okay.
So you got your serial number,
Oh.
you got your X inspection mark,
Oh.
you got your nice shiny clips embedded in there.
So like there's a kind of a clip that's welded to the
Well, they're not welded. They're
facet somehow.
there's No, they're just embedded. See there?
Oh, they're just embedded in the
Oh,
They're just
that-
cast into it.
cast
But
into
that,
it.
there's something on the body that would snap into that.
That's right. There's pins on the body that snap
Pins.
into it.
Then they're welded on the.
Oh, man.
They're welded on.
But I want
pins-
to call it
super
the
light.
fuselage.
The pins are pretty cool, and you know, I have one, and it's the only one I've ever seen. But they're spring loaded like crazy. They've got a couple little arms that are the spring parts. So the top you squeeze together has to push against these parts, and they're stout. You know, it's not easy to get them on there. As a matter of fact, I was just visiting with a guy that works at SpaceX and puts these heat towels on. That's his job.
Wow.
And we were just talking about it. And these type of heat towels, they put them up there. You have to beat them on with your fist,
Oh,
which
okay.
is kind of barbaric. You know, like, well, no kidding. You can imagine why they have trouble with them.
No way to get them off.
Yeah.
That clip is that strong.
Starship 25. So that's been in
25.
space.
That's
That's been
Oh.
15,000 miles an hour. That's been blown up. That's been re-entered in a fireball.
So that's what it looks like from just re-entry?
Yeah, but it was uncontrolled re-entry.
Okay.
Because when they exploded it, the nose cone all stayed together in one big chunk with the wings and all. There's a guy in Florida got some video with a telescope of
Okay.
this piece. But once it hit the atmosphere, it turned into a big fireball. There's a guy in Puerto Rico got a video of that.
Okay.
And so this was still attached, in my opinion, to the nose cone. Because I have other heat tiles that I found out there, like this one, they're not all burned up. But it was on the same ship. So what I think happened is, this one stayed attached. These ones that didn't get burned up did. They came in on their own.
Oh, okay.
What
So-
temperature are they exposed to?
Well, I've used a blowtorch on them. And you get around 3,000 degrees and they start to melt. Big
Okay,
time, you know.
3,000.
And this coating has melted and
Yeah,
recongealed as a hardened surface. Like, see, this is a busted piece. So this piece broke off during when it was kind of apart, but this coating still had time to get around this corner, you know, and congeal on this thing.
Wow.
That's a
That's cool.
There you go. I think this is the Hopper. It's one of their first iteration of their concept.
They successfully lifted it off with a rocket engine and then re-landed it. This proved the concept and paved the way for their very successful Falcon 9 reusable rockets and now for the Starship.
So, yeah, it's about, 12 feet off the ground, the base of it, so it's a little bigger than it looks. Forgot to mention, here's our ride. We're in Texas on the Gulf Coast, and there's something that looks like the Mojave Yucca. And what is this? That looks like a Joshua tree. Those are supposed to be in the Mojave Desert, not on the Gulf Coast. Crazy. Was not expecting that. We're staking out the park to see where we should park for tomorrow. This is Isla Blanca State Park on the south end of South Padre Island. The man at the gate said to arrive before the park opens at 6 a.m., even though the launch isn't till 4 p.m. Since we had a free day on Monday, we decided to go on a dolphin watching boat ride. The blimp is called an aerostat. It's used by Homeland Security to monitor cross-border traffic. We are only a few miles from the Mexican border.
now, slow.
There he's coming out.
There he is.
Coming out. So it's 3:45 in the morning on launch day. I'm in a lineup with other cars, waiting to go in at 6 when the park opens so we can get a good parking spot. So the plan is to park the car and then I'll walk back up the beach to our condo, and then we can come back at 1 or 2 p.m. to set up to see the launch. It's 4:45 and the line is a little bigger. Okay, it's 5:45. Can we get a good spot? I got a good spot. But we'll see.
Well, the people that run this
Yeah.
are all fine. They got
I put out our camp chairs, got our spot secure. Now I'm gonna walk back to the condo and take a nap. Now we're walking on the beach about a mile to our viewing spot at the end of South Padre Island, the south end.
Yeah, we'll be about 5 nautical miles from the launch site. People say the ground even shakes from
Yeah.
the noise of the rocket.
Parking lot's all full now.
We're at our spot, our viewing spot. Beautiful day, much better than the previous 2 days. Got an excellent view of the rocket and the tower out there on the other side of the bay. It should be really spectacular.
Oh, it's drum. Get a good look. Oh, okay. It's 3 o'clock now.
Yeah, we're taking a little break from the sun. Beautiful day. Wind's not too bad. They're going to start fueling here in a minute now. We
right.
should see.
Hour
We just
before
saw a big
launch.
plume of something come off the tower. So everybody's all excited. Trump just flew over in his jet. And so there's a bunch of VIPs over there at the factory, and they're here to watch the launch also.
Mm-hmm. Wi-Fi is pretty bad out here, and cell service. So our neighbors, they brought their Starlink with them and have their computer playing live stream from SpaceX, and then they gave us Wi-Fi access too, so we can stay up to speed on what's going on.
WB-57, NASA's
Yeah.
Oh,
image plane
Oh,
that they use
Okay.
for launches. So it's here.
Oh, wow.
And he flies, I think, at 60,000 feet. And he's the one that gets some of the great videos of it.
So where's it coming out at?
NASA, Ellington Field. Ellington Field is in Houston at NASA.
Houston,
Killer Lake, yeah. So they'll fly all the way down to Florida from there, too. Yeah, which that's where, the Houston Space Center is on Ellington Field.
President-elect Trump and Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX. These are live images coming your way.
Under 2 minutes now. It's gonna happen. Ignition! Oh man. Oh man. Oh wow.
At this point, we've passed through that point of maximum aerodynamic pressure, that max Q. Now, coming up in just a little over a minute from now is going to be hot staging. So we're going to see the 6 engines on the ship ignite while still attached to the booster. Just before that, we'll see all but 3 center engines on the booster shut down. In what we call MECO, it's most engines cut off instead of main engine. And we heard the tower is go for catch.
Booster engine cut off.
The return flag is set for true.
Ship engine start up. Stage separation.
All right, hot staging confirmed. 6 out of 6 lit on the ship. Booster boost back going. We heard that we are go for catch. Kate, Jesse, take it the views. Hopefully I got a booster coming home real soon.
Wow, from our view here, Dan, great views of planet Earth behind that super heavy booster. Right now it is performing the
Ship
boost back burn.
Phenomenal.
Good news there, telling us that the pressures inside the ship are good. That is the second stage or the upper portion of the vehicle. Follow along with the telemetry on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, booster is currently, super heavy, is currently in its boost back burn. This boost back burn.
Avionics power telemetry nominal.
This boost back burn lasts just a little bit over a minute. So we've got a little, approximately 30 seconds left.
We've had shutdown of that boost back burn. Up next will be hot stage jettison. The view from the camera on the left, or from the booster on the left-hand side of your screen, and then tracking cam there on the right-hand side of your screen. We'll see those grid fins.
Booster offshore divert.
And we can also see that the hot stage has been jettisoned.
Yes, visual confirmation of that there on your screen, which is great. Now the next
Starship is following a nominal trajectory.
The next step for booster is going into that landing burn. Again, it'll light up 13 of those engines and then pare down to 3 engines right before booster catch.
All right, now just real quick, we did hear the call out, booster offshore divert. Unfortunately, that means that we are no-go for the catch. As we said before, both the tower and the vehicle, as well as the operators on console, have been actively evaluating the commit criteria for that return to the launch tower. And unfortunately, we did not have a pass on those commit criteria. So we are no-go for tower catch.
And we did mention that we're constantly evaluating the criteria for catch. There's a lot of things that need to go well in order to line that up. Unfortunately, today we will forego booster catch today. But what you're seeing on your screen is ship currently making its way towards the Indian Ocean, still looking good so far.
Exactly. So views there of the booster on the left-hand side of your screen, views of the ship on the right-hand side of your screen. Now, we said before that it was not guaranteed that we would be able to make a tower catch today. So while we were hoping for it, like we said, it was pretty epic on attempt 1, but the safety of the teams and the public and the pad itself are paramount. So we are accepting no compromises in any of those areas.
Exactly. And we're still going to get a lot of good flight data with booster even, but especially with ship. Again, we have an additional objective today to do an in-space relight of a Raptor engine, which again will help us set us up for being able to do deorbit burns, which is
Ship chamber pressure is nominal.
which is important for orbital flights. And what you're seeing on your screen is a view from Super Heavy as it's making its way back down to Earth.
Yeah, once again, we are attempting an offshore landing of the Super Heavy booster. So we have seen this before, and it is still very fun to watch, watching it come down for a soft splashdown off the Gulf Coast of Texas. We can see it there re-entering. We saw earlier those grid fins. There are 4 hypersonic grid fins. Or we can see that the landing burn has begun on the Super Heavy booster.
And same pattern, 13 engines will light, gone down to 3 just as we expected. And what an incredible view of splashdown that we got today of Super Heavy.
Yeah, I'm sure the buoy cam views will be pretty awesome once again. So we'd like to confirm a water landing once again for the Super Heavy booster. Congrats to the SpaceX team for making that milestone as well.
What was the reason she gave?
She hasn't. She just said that the tower crew scrubbed it. And they have to make all these decisions within minutes.
Yeah.
And so something at the tower, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Darn, I painted. Y'all got to come back
Yeah, I guess so.
because the test part is just unbelievable.
Oh, there. Okay, so that was the...
That might have been the hot staging ring or them or whatever. But, you know, the wind's blowing away, so it's not near as loud.
Yeah.
Well, darn. Let's hope the other side works good.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, so in about an hour, the Starship's going to land in the Indian Ocean. Well, the Super Heavy, the booster, wasn't able to return to Megazilla for the catch, but it was still worth it.
It was awesome watching Starship blast off. I think we'll probably be back.
We should. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching Big Sky Stearman Show.